Hello and welcome to another video. There is a game we all play almost every single day, but unfortunately most of us don't really understand it because we have been playing it for so long that we think we already know everything about it, and yet we lose most of the times. Yes, I'm talking about money. Money is like a game, it has its own rules like any other game, but most people turns out to be really bad at this game since most people aren't satisfied with their financial position. And the reason for that is that most people simply don't understand the rules of the game, and like any other game, if you don't know the rules, you lose. That's why here in this video we'll talk about the main 5 rules of the game of money, because the better you understand the game, the better you can play it. So let's jump in. Money is like a woman. If you try to pursue a woman by directly showing how much you're interested in her, you're more likely to be rejected because that's not how it works. Women are not usually attracted to you as much as they are attracted to what you represent. That's why it's much easier to attract a girl when you're dressed much better like a gentleman, for example, because that represents success, that you're a smart and cool guy. The more valuable and exciting your life seems, the more girls will find you attractive. And the same thing goes with money. Money always flows wherever there is value. The more value you can create, the more money you will generate. So instead of focusing on how to make more money, focus on how you can bring more value, because that will eventually result in more money, regardless whether you're an employee or a business owner. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. If you make $1 million, for example, and I take out $999,999 out of it, you are out of your mind if you consider yourself rich, because the moment you lose that job, you are done. What matters at the end of the day is how much money is left in your hands after covering all of your expenses. A lot of people are trying to become doctors, engineers, because they think they can make a lot of money out of it, but without realizing that their salary will be taxed at 30 or 40%, and they will have to live in an expensive city in order to be able to do that job, which will leave them at the end of the month with no money but still a mortgage to pay. I'm not saying that you should not become a doctor or engineer, but rather you should know your taxes and expenses and learn how to reduce them, because you don't want to be homeless and lose everything if you lose that job. Money can't stay neutral. The problem with money is that it's always in action. It's either increasing or decreasing. Even if you're not using it at all, its value always depreciates because of something that you probably already know, which is known as inflation. In other words, you either work on increasing it or you let it depreciate over time, which is why you should learn how to invest. And you can't learn it by simply watching one or more videos on YouTube. It's not a complicated subject that needs a special talent to learn, but it really needs enough time and effort, because that's the only way you can actually make your money work for you and be financially free at least. And that drives me to the next point, which is never play the game you don't understand. People usually ask me, which company should I invest my money in? And my typical answer is, invest in the ones you like and understand. And guess what happens? They get angry because they think I'm not taking their questions seriously. Investing is not a joke, it's exactly like starting a business. Let me ask you this question. Would you start a business just because your friend thinks it's a good business? Of course not, unless you're good at it and understand that business and that industry. Otherwise it will be a waste of time and money. But in this case, it's not you who is going to work on it, but rather your money. So if you would not start a business that you don't understand, why invest your money in a business that you don't understand? And the worst part of it is that when people invest in a company because an expert on TV said it's a good investment. If it really was, he would do it without telling you. I have an entire video on this subject which you can find in the description of this video. And lastly, as Peter Drucker says, if you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it. Managing your money isn't really that difficult. What's really challenging is to track your expenses, because most people are lazy to do that. And if you don't at least know how are you spending your money and where, then forget everything we talked about in this video. So start by tracking your expenses first. These 5 rules might seem very basic, but the reality is that a lot of people don't even know them, and a lot of people also, even those who know them, don't really implement them and wonder why they are in that dark financial position. Learning the rules of the game is the first step, but if you don't really implement them, they are absolutely useless. And now it's your turn. What do you think? Do you agree with this list? If not, what would you add? And as always, hit the like button if you have enjoyed this video and most importantly, benefited. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.